We're going to educate you on how to teach someone how to ollie. This is not a learn to ollie video. This is if you've got someone who wants to learn to ollie, how you can actually teach them to do that. We've seen hundreds of skate coaches over the years and recently been in a lot of other sports to see how they break down all the individual components of what they do. What we're going to do here is go through a little step by step so that we can show you what we've found from seeing all these different coaches as the fastest, most efficient way to do an ollie. Keep watching, and here we go. Okay, so the first thing we need to do prior to the ollie is we want to stabilize them, and they're going to do the ollie once they're comfortable rolling around, but the first thing we need to do is just get them stable on the board. So if you put your foot on the tail and the foot on the bolts, and what we're going to do is we're going to get them to lift the front leg, but they don't push the back down. We want them to bend that front leg. Can you bend that for me? Just pull it up like this and do that a few times. All right, one more. Great. So what we're doing when we do this is they're not leaning back to get leverage. We're actually keeping their weight over the board. That's why we get them to practice this way. And when you're teaching them to roll around or do everything else, when you do get them to do a tail lift, try to focus on bringing the front knee up and keeping their weight over the top. So the next step, essentially with the ollie, their feet, that's normally your bolts right here. When you ollie, your foot's back a bit and your foot's on the tail. Essentially what they're doing is they're moving their feet from there to there. Just a little subtle movement. This isn't going to focus too heavily on technique right now. We're going to really focus on just getting them the confidence to do it. The technique will improve as they go. So we want to get their feet from here to here. So I might just get my demonstrator in. So I'll just get you to put your feet back behind the bolts and on the tail and just do a little jump up to the front. Perfect. That's great. Now what I want you to do this time, and this is where we break the ollie down, and this is how we get ollies out of these young people or whoever wants to learn. This is the most efficient way that we've seen from all the coaches doing it. What I want you to do this time is bring the tail down and then do a jump into the position. And then do a jump. Perfect. So do that one more time. Now try that with the little hop. That's it. All right, let's just do one more, make sure we feel comfortable. So what we're doing is we're keeping the weight over the top, and then we're shifting the feet up to where the ollie lands, and we're doing that in two small motions. The lean back and then the hop. Just do that one more time. Lean back, hop. Perfect. Now what I want you to do is I want you to try that fast, like an actual ollie. Do you want to do that for me? Just let's see if you can do an ollie. All right, let's try that again. Amazing. So the main thing with the ollie, we don't want to worry about how big they can do it. They're kids most of the time when you're teaching them, and they're not going to be able to really drive them high straight away. You want to just get them getting that fluent technique, break it down into micro movements so they understand it. Then you can actually explain why they need to do those micro movements, and then they'll absorb it better and do the step by step. The other thing you can remember is get them to try it rolling. It's much easier rolling than standing still. Don't worry about big ones, just get them to focus on little ones and get the technique. And you remember as well, most people these days are using a skate park. So when they are using a skate park, the ramps do most of the work. The speed and the height of the kickers will do most of the work. A good technique ollie will allow them, no matter how high it is, to get a bit of movement. So what you really want to focus on is just teaching them how to get this step by step broken down, and then to improve it, it's just repetition and practice. But that's the easiest way that we've found amongst all the coaches and from what we've seen and experienced on how to actually teach someone how to do an ollie.